I hope we all had a fantastic weekend in Chicago Cubs Nation. The Cubs take care of business against the Angels in a 3-game sweep. We are going to talk about how we're only 5 games back here in the division, and we got a big playoff injury regarding the Philadelphia Phillies pitcher, Zack Wheeler. We're going to get to all that and more right here on this edition of Cubs Daily, presented by Fan Arch. I hope you all are rocking and rolling on this Monday morning. So, let's hop into it, shall we? The Cubs take care of business against the Angels in a 4-3 win. Not going to lie, it got sweaty in there during the end, but Daniel Palencia shut the door. Again, we got to remember, this is his first year being a big league closer. He is going to go through some rough patches. It's about him gaining the good experience, getting through these situations that are going to prepare him for October. And then October will teach him lessons probably, because October is unforgiving. But glad he was able to get through this one, blowing it by them to end the game. Cubs get the sweep, gain 2 games on the Milwaukee Brewers. We're going to talk about that here in a moment. But it was, again, 4-3. I know, not the most impressive victory by any means, but good signs still remain. 3 for 8 with runners in scoring position. Nico Horner gave the Cubs the go-ahead run 2-1. Kyle Tucker tied the game with an RBI single early on. Just positive signs you like to see. Jameson Taillon, maybe not pinpoint peak, but got the job done. 5 innings, solid. And the Cubs bullpen, although they did make it close, again, it's never going to be perfect, right? They were able to shut the door, and we got the sweep of the Halos. And that's a really encouraging sign for this team. Just taking care of business against teams you know you are better than, right? Like, yes, the Angels aren't the worst team by any means. We're not talking Pirates or the Rockies, but the Angels are not that strong of a squad. And even though they were buyers at the deadline, we all kind of thought that was a little bit of false leadership move on that part. So, false misleading, I'll say. So, Cubs take care of business. It's really good to see. And now we only sit 5 games back of the Milwaukee Brewers, who dropped 2 of 3 to the Giants here this weekend. And, you know, I thought they weren't going to lose today or yesterday. I thought they weren't going to lose yesterday because it was Bob Uecker Day. But somehow the Giants were able to pull it off. And what do you know? 5 back. It's only going to be August 25th. There's some room to do damage, ladies and gentlemen. There's some room to do damage. And if the Cubs are going to play this way and Kyle Tucker's seeing the baseball well again, we're going to be in for quite the finish in the NL Central, in my opinion. Now, Seiya Suzuki, he needs to figure it out. I'm not sure what it's going to take for him. I don't think there's an injury causing him any delay, but getting him back on track is going to be key as well. PCA is not all the way back there yet, but lots of positive signs going forward, right? You're not going to score 9 runs every game, but it's about being able to find ways to win ball games 4-3, 3-2, 5-3, you know, et cetera, et cetera. And that's what we did this weekend. We won 2 tough ball games, and then we obliterated them on Saturday. So, continuing that momentum forward here, we're going to talk about our schedule coming up here in a matter of moments, because it does favor the Cubs. The Brewers have a tough one coming up here. They're going to be facing the Diamondbacks for 4 in Milwaukee, and then I believe they're going to Toronto for 3 this weekend, which is going to play big role in the Cubs' chances at winning the division. But let's talk playoff picture for a moment, okay? We know the Cubs are in a battle for the division. They're probably going to be at least the wild card, okay? I don't think they'll be facing the Phillies in the first round. They'll probably match up in the DS potentially or the NLCS. But this is big news, ladies and gentlemen. This is big news. Big news. Zack Wheeler is out for the next 6 to 8 months with an elbow issue, I believe. He's going to have surgery. He's going to be out till at least the start of next year. This is their frontline ace. Now, they have Aaron Nola, but he hasn't been quite the same. They have a couple of other guys who've been pitching super well, like Christopher Sanchez, and they have Jesus Luzardo, who might not be as strong as he was, but he's very solid. He's been a very solid pitcher. So, I'm not sure how much the Phillies are losing in terms of, like, you know, they're losing a big arm. There's no doubt about that. They still got very solid pitching, and they're still going to go to the playoffs. But what's going to happen in the playoffs is going to be very curious to see, because from my experience of watching playoff baseball, teams that find a lot of success hit home runs, and they throw fastballs really, really hard, usually around 100 miles an hour. And yeah, Zack Wheeler might not be at 100 miles an hour, but he's up there. He's one of the best pitchers in all of baseball, and there's no doubt about it. And he's been pitching like one of the best pitchers in baseball for the last 2 seasons. So this is a massive blow to the Phillies and their World Series championship hopes. They are losing their ace to their staff. We might not see it now, but this is going to come big in the playoffs. So just wanted to talk about that for a couple of moments. But let's talk about this upcoming road trip for the Cubs, okay? We just finished 3 in LA. We're 3-0 on the road trip so far. We have tonight off. We're going to take a day off. Traveling to San Francisco for 3. The Giants coming off a big-time series against the Brewers. The Giants are not technically out of the playoff picture, but they are on the teetering point of being eliminated. If they have a good, strong finish to August, they might be in a puncher's chance to get into the last wild card spot. Again, I doubt it, but we've seen wild comebacks happen in September, so I'm open to anything, and teams should be open to possibly anything happening too. So the Giants are going to be trying to win these ball games and get these wins so that they have a puncher's chance to get into the wild card position. But the Cubs are the better team. There's no doubt about it. They've had a much better season. Their offense has been significantly better. Their pitching has been better. I saw a fun stat the other day. The Cubs have the lowest walk rate in all of baseball. That's a good sign. You don't like to walk people. Give teams free opportunities, especially at this level. So the Giants, they're going to be a good matchup. They're going to be tough. Again, 2 of 3. If we can take 2 of 3 from the Giants, I will be very, very ecstatic as a Cub fan. Then the next 3 in Colorado. We need to take care of business. Why? Because the Milwaukee Brewers are on the other side in Toronto that weekend, facing one of the best teams in the American League. If we can gain a game somehow on the Brewers while playing the Giants, I will be beyond pumped. But we can make a major, major move in the division this weekend if everything goes according to plan. We should sweep the Rockies. That's my expectation. I'm prepared to be disappointed, honestly. But my expectation is to take care of the Rockies and get on to some big-time plays. Because we play the Braves next week, right? They're not having the strong season that we all anticipated with them. But they're still going to be a tough matchup, though, no doubt. We need 3 against the Rockies. The schedule favors us down the stretch here. We need to take advantage and get ready and healthy for the postseason. So, again, favorable, juicy stuff coming up for the Chicago Cubs this week. We got 3 in San Fran, 3 in Colorado. The Brewers, they have 4 at home against the D-backs and 3 in Toronto. So, lots of moves could be made this week. Depends on how we play. And the way we're entering right now, we've won 8 of our last 10. It's looking nice. So, appreciate everyone who tunes into Cubs Daily. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your Monday. We can stress free. The Cubs can't hurt us today, emotionally speaking, of course. I hope we all have a prosperous day, and I'll talk to you all in the next one. See ya.